Well, he's going to title this Silver and the Giddy Rumors That Surround It. But, yeah, there is a lot of giddy rumors around here about the sky is falling. And actually, I want to show you a statue representation of the elite guy. Here he is. That's the elite guy, man. I showed him to you before. I don't want to have my cat in here because he's deathly scared of this guy, man. He's scared as all hell. Both my cats are scared of this guy. Especially when he makes that noise. They're probably heading off to the other side of the house by now. But anyway, you know, I'm not going to actually, I'm going to tell you this. I don't think silver's going to do much over the next couple months. But I don't think it's going to be dropping to the floor either. It's going to be the doldrums, man. It's like we're in a sailboat and we're in the middle of the ocean and we got no wind. But it don't mean it's going to sink. So, good example, whatever. I could delve into the unusual. I did a little bit on this, but, you know, I don't know. I'm moving these remote devices around here right now a little bit. But I'm not going to delve too much into the unusual. I'm going to try to give you, when I delve into the unusual, actually, I give you more factual information. It's just that, you know, it's not actually put out there by the major alternative media disinformation crowd. Because what I do is I go by facts. You know, it's a little bit different, right? It's a little bit different scenario. I'm going to tell you this. The dollar is not going to zero. I don't give a damn if you hear this from somebody with umpteen initials after their name. They've been in the hedge funds for all this. I can tell you what, there's loads of people in hedge funds that, well, I know Warren Buffett is actually more into the foreign currencies and stuff, but he's still invested in America. He's still invested in the dollar, partly. It's a trend. It's going to be diminished, partly. It's not going to go to zero. There's going to be a leveling off of nations. You know, the USA is not going down to like nothing. It's getting, it's not going to say it's not going to be important. It's going to be diminished slightly. That's the elite plan, obviously. Now, I don't need to know an elite guy to know this because it's basically written all over the wall with a number of writings I've read over the years. And I'm just putting it out here in simplistic fashion because that's what's going on. These guys with the sky is falling they're Chicken Little. They're scared, the sky is falling. And they're doing it for profit. They're a pile of bullshit. You know, actually, I want to put this out here. You know, I forgot about the video I put out on Prime Minister Medvedev back in December 8th, 2012. And it was before the end of the year 2012, you know, the big hysteria about the Mayan calendar and stuff, and the number of days from the equinox and the alignment. Oh, man, there was all kinds of shit out there. I put some stuff out on it, but I really didn't believe it too much. I don't know. I mean, you know, what am I going to do? Stop it? See it happens. What am I going to do? Stop it? I don't know. But, you know, it was interesting. I forgot, you know, when I was re-looking at that video I did, I put something in there that I wanted people to remember what Pastor Lindsey Williams said in early 2012 or late 2011 about his predictions for 2012, what his elite friend said. Right? That he said, I wrote it down with a piece of paper. Actually, I used an Excel spreadsheet, but same, and I cheated. You know, I used electronic equipment. But the big thing was 2012 was going to be the most dramatic year in 2,000 years. And, you know, in my video on Prime Minister Medvedev was talking about aliens amongst us. And, you know, it was like, I don't know if the guy's joking or what. You know, he said he was joking. But anyway, I mentioned this thing about Lindsey Williams in that same video because I says, I want people to remember this crap what this guy said, besides all this, you know, silver this and oil this and all this other garbage. And it's still, there's a whole bunch of channels out there freaking still pushing this crap for money. And I'm thinking to myself, what good are you jerks doing for anybody pushing this crap? You know, I'm trying to actually put something out here that's constructive for people, that'll do them good. So I'm trying to be realistic with this stuff. But he stated that back, his predictions for 2012 from his supposed elite guy was that, you know, the thing was 2012 was going to be this big, horrendous, tumultuous year. The most dramatic thing happened in 2,000 years. And I was thinking, wow, we had the bubonic plague, we had the Bolshevik Revolution, Mao Zedong killed millions of people. Hitler killed millions of people. The Holocaust. We had the Civil War. We had the War of the Roses. We had, I don't know, whatever. There was all kinds of stuff. I said, wow, that's quite a bit. What happened in 2012? Not much. But, it's like, that's what the elite guys said. Chicken Little, man. So be scared all the time. Actually, I think there's a method to the madness. They want you to be scared all the time. Now, when I put something out, I'm going to tell you, I put a lot of stuff out on like the microelectricity and the healing. And I ain't sure about this spooky remote stuff with the quantum entanglement. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I've seen a couple things I think it works, but I am not sure about it. But I'm going to give you a little factoid on this because some of the unusual out there is facts. Is a fact. With electricity and stuff like that, and this is kind of unrelated to silver, but just to throw it out there because there is some weird shit out there. Now, most people, I'm not telling you to get struck by lightning if you got cancer now, but most people that get struck by lightning, they're killed, right? They're dead, so you don't want to get struck by lightning, right? If you're out there on a golf course, you want to stay away from the big tree and all this kind of shit. You want to get inside the club and, avoid the lightning. But the people that get struck by lightning that have cancer and they survive the lightning strike, you know what happens to the cancer? It goes away. Weird, huh? It's a fact. I forgot where I read that, man, but I got it from like a doctor's site that it was said that. And I was like, yeah, man, so like pH and all this kind of garbage and electricity is all kind of related to each other. Actually, pH and electricity, high pH is negative electricity, your bodies are negative electricity. I want to put that out there because, another thing this LW guy says, go to Mexico in Tijuana, pay $100,000, and that's where the elite guys go. Really? Anyway, you might want to just eat good foods and you might get well. That might be the deal. A lot of it is that way. Go back to Hippocrates. So I'm going to tell you, with this, I expect silver to freaking start climbing up again when oil takes off, and I think oil's going to start taking off late this summer. Actually, oil's not doing too bad on the WTI. It's like 103, 104. That's a pretty healthy price for considering there's not a lot of demand out there. Actually, they've been talking about, well, why aren't Americans buying homes? And, why they're not buying homes? You know why? Because the economy sucks and they're broke. The only ones buying property and real estate right now are the big companies, the big investment companies, and they're going rent, and they're just, I don't know, they're flipping houses, they're turning them into rentals and whatever the hell they're doing, I don't know. So, the economy kind of stinks no matter what the hell the major media says. It ain't doing too good. But, I gotta state this, don't get down in the doldrums about that, because no matter how bad the economy is, there's always an economy, and there's always things people need. It's just that I get kind of annoyed with this giddy rumors garbage because it's the least constructive stuff going. And I'm like, I don't want to put that kind of stuff out on my channel. I put some stuff out that's a little more unusual, but it's not giddy rumors. They're actually facts. They're facts that aren't really being said by, the disinformation alternative media, which are the major bucks clowns, but there's still facts. And I can't verify the crazier facts. I don't want to call them crazier, but because I don't want to put out stuff that I can't verify. But I put stuff out that I do know that could somewhat reaffirm some of the crazier shit that's out there. But I want to put out this, though. When oil starts taking off, the mining costs are going to go way the hell up. And all commodity, if you look back historically, look back at when any time there's major conflict in the Middle East and oil went way up, gold went up because of uncertainty, and silver went up. That's just what happens. But the dollar's not going to zero. So, what they're freaking playing here is this. They're setting you up for the next time that freaking silver goes way up, they're going to tell you to hold your everything. Never sell anything at all. Now, I'm not saying you should dump the whole damn thing, But if silver like tripled or some garbage and went up to $60 an ounce, you'd be a fool not to sell a small portion of it at least, for crying out loud, and do something with the money, because that's getting pretty up there. I don't think the United States is going down that easy. I pointed out some stuff about like USA's got quantum computers. They got so much crap that we don't, whatever, stuff that we don't know about that, well, we kind of know about, but not exactly. But, that kind of stuff actually correlates a lot with military strength and financial strength. The USA ain't going down that easy. But the New World Order, if you look back at all the plans and stuff like that, the concept is to kind of level off all nations in the world, that you're not going to have, they don't want the United States super strong, but then again, they don't want it like third-rate power either. So the trend is the United States is probably going to lose a little more clout in the world as time goes by. That's probably elite policy. I think that's their policy, but it's not going to be diminished all the way. No way. That's not their policy. But, on the other side of it, I think we're a lot smarter than the guys on the top, of the people that actually freaking think and don't get into the giddy rumors. I think we're a lot smarter than those guys. It's despite what their stupid ideas are about, with how they want the United States to be, we could be a hell of a lot stronger, and yet maybe it's not written on paper. Your independence is a lot to do with strength. Independence. Financial independence, energy independence, food independence, having good health, and having a good brain power to ascertain exactly what's going on. But I tell you the truth, man, I have been totally sick of the yo-yos out there saying, the sky is falling. and it's like they give you, the method behind the madness, besides the lucrative crap to keep you glued to what's the next drama gonna happen and shit, and like you're all worried and stuff, and you gotta know only from them what's gonna happen, is that to keep you fearful so you're not thinking straight. That's the major media disinformation, yo-yos. Now, I know every time I mention Ron Paul, people get pissed off at me, and it's kind of a mixed bag now, because I think more people figured him out than they did back when he was running for office, but I don't know. It's almost like I told people the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus don't exist, or he's full of shit or something. And, but I see through the shit, man. I don't know, man. I can't reach the freaking masses, It's like the masses are just the masses. That's just how they are. And that's usually why I work for the guys that are like the devils, But I don't really give a shit about them, because they don't, I give a shit about them as much as they give a shit about me. It's like, you got money? Give it to me. Thanks. It's the way I look at it. But, you can't give me enough money that I really give a shit anyway, so who cares? Anyway. I don't know. So, don't matter too much to me anyway. That's the one way I look at it. But, I could tell you one thing. I could pretty much outthink the freaking elite, outshrewd the elite any day, most of the time. I don't think they're that freaking smart. I don't think they are. I've seen a number of things where, they got their money wrapped up. It's not on the balance sheet. It's actually in physical hard goods. Just like, you're being advised on this channel to put some of your money into physical silver. They may not be having physical silver, but they have physical hard assets that they might have their money wrapped up in. It might be jewelry. It might be artwork. That type of stuff. It might be statues of stuff. And none of that's valued anywhere. And actually, I think those are the type of the assets that the IRS isn't even interested in. If you got artwork and stuff hanging on your walls, and you got marble statues that are worth all this kind of crap, and you got jewelry that you wear that's worth all this kind of money, I'm pretty certain the IRS isn't even interested in that at all. It's not even something that you got to report unless you go to sell it. But the value of this type of stuff could be going up, up, up. You might have a classic car stored in a garage with hundreds of cars. Actually, you look at this guy Yanukovych over in Ukraine. I think he had like 150 classic cars and, I don't know, 70 motorcycles or something like that. You know, I mean, all that stuff just keeps going up in value, and it's not really, you know, on an electronic screen that you can look up. It actually is only on electronically reported when you go to sell it, but it's just like what you're doing with your silver, same type of principle. These guys do it all the time, but they might not do it with silver so much. But silver's like the poor man's gold. It's for the middle class type people. So it's not a bad investment. Just don't put all your money into silver, every single penny. Because the dollar's not going to zero. That's BS. I don't give a damn. I've been seeing yo-yos on the interviews and stuff just saying it's going to zero. And they got all these credentials and they have this and they got all the... Yeah, well, you know what? Well, it's interesting that, you know, there's a lot of people out there in the business world, in Wall Street, and in the financial world, and the hedge funds, and everything else that are running everything. They're not betting like the dollar's going to zero. They're just betting that the dollar's going down in value somewhat. They're not betting that it's going to zero. They're not doing that. So, I mean, you're being played when they're freaking throwing those kind of rumors out there. Just like 2012 was going to be the most eventful, dramatic, stupendous year, the most tumultuous in 2,000 years per the elite guy. Remember that? when Pastor Lindsey Williams said that? And, you know, you still got people on YouTube freaking regurgitating what this guy's saying. So I'm like, it's hopeless, man. That's what I look at it. It's hopeless. I don't know what the hell to do about this shit, because it reminds me of, it's the best example I could think of, the H.G. Wells, I think it was 1938 skit where the Martians, where they had on the radio, the Martians were coming, and they're scaring the crap out of people, and people were jumping off of freaking roofs and shit. And, you know, if the Martians were coming for real, you know what I'd be doing? I'd lock and load. I'd blow their little green bodies to freaking smithereens. Alright? And if that didn't work, I'd make a freaking flamethrower, or bow and arrow, or I'd use a freaking sword, or whatever. I don't know what the hell I'd do. I'd figure out something, and I'd try to kick their ass. So, you know, I wouldn't jump off a freaking roof, that's for sure. You know, if I jumped off the roof, I'd have a rope around 50 of them, so they'd be at the ground first and use their bodies as a cushion, and it goes squish, and all the green stuff come out. I'm just freaking talking shit here, but you know, I mean, I've never seen so many freaking pussies in the United States that are wrapped around giddy rumors. And you know what? That's the problem. That's why the elite get away with shit. Because the pussies in the United States need a leader to think for them. They need a leader. They need Ron Paul. Oh, yeah, the Federal Reserve is bad. Oh, the fucking Federal Reserve is bad. Take your money out of the bank, and you can keep paper currency since you ain't getting interest anyway. Go stuff it in a freaking mattress or the wall or some shit, or stick it in an old junk car in a quarter panel, and save your money that way. And you know, they won't give you 50 cents interest every month or some shit, right? That's the way I look at it. You know, if you don't like the Federal Reserve, do that. That's one thing. That's one thing. You got the balls to do that. Anyway, just want to put this out here because giddy rumors are what's defeating the whole deal, man, all the way. You know, if we're tasked with a freaking task, we got to hit the enemy, man. That's all there is to it. That's the way I look at it. So, and false opposition is their main, and pushing fear is their main weapons against, you know, what actually to straighten out stuff. Because, like I said, I ain't looking to, like, you know, revolutionize something. I'm just looking to, like, just use pure common sense, rational thought, and straighten stuff out for the betterment of everybody, man. That's all the way. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. You know. You know. Actually, the money thing is one side where we got the crooked Federal Reserve and all this garbage. They can print all the money they want. They hold all the cards. They're the owners of the casino and all this garbage. But actually, the main thing that actually would improve the lives of everybody all along would be the lower cost energy, maybe free energy or close to free. That would do it, and I think the technology's out there. I don't think that is giddy rumors, man. I think it's suppressed, but you know, that type of stuff actually would make a major difference in everything. Well, like I said, you know, we got yo-yos in all strata of society. You know, we got them in the elite, we got them in the semi-elite, we got them in the middle class, and we got them in the poor class. It really comes down to certain people are freaking spiteful. They got to have something, nobody else got to have it. So they don't share. They don't share information. or they're only spreading BS rumors about shit that isn't helping people. Now, I delved a little bit more into the unusual, but I think a little bit of that is a little more factual, and I hate to say it though, because it's so damn unusual, but it may be a little bit factual. So, I kind of figured put that out there because I'd almost be betting that the stuff I just put out recently is not going to really be on, Ick or Jones or Ventura or Wilcock and all that other bullshit, and it sure as hell ain't going to be uttered by Ron Paul, because that guy was even afraid to talk about 911, right? Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. Just watch out for those giddy rumors, and I think we're going to see oil heating up. Not in June, not in July, but maybe sometime in August. And that's going to start heating up things for the metals. You're not going to see oil... you're not going to see the metal suppressed if oil starts going up to $110 a barrel on the WTI and exceeds that. And we got so many hot spots in the world that it's almost a given. I know there's plenty of oil on this earth, but that doesn't mean anything. It's got to go to market. It's got to go to market. It's got to be there. And if there's anything that's rigged more than anything, it's the damn oil market, because that's the biggest industry on earth. They want as much money as possible for that shit. You know that's crap. I could go on with a lot more things, but there's a video I got in the information box. I know it's my video and it's whatever, I'm pushing my videos or whatever, but I think it was good. It was about the oil market, the spot rigging in the oil market. You might want to look at that, because I went into a lot of other stuff that's not really out there in the other disinformation alternative media, especially like LW talked about when they had the Gulf oil spill. He said, oh no, my elite friend said that was just an accident. Well, if it was just an accident, how come Goldman Sachs and the BP CEO knew how to bet beforehand it even happened, and how come they had this closed to the public trading platform to short close to the public options to short BP before it happened too, by an exclusive group. Yo, baby, I just gotta lay it to you, man. I don't know how many times you've been saying this shit, but it's not the popular thing to say. It's not the popular thing to say. I'm not going to regurgitate what the disinformation crowd puts out there, because it's not constructive. I'm trying to put people in the right direction, and I'm pretty sure what the right direction is. I got, I might not have the best knowledge of anybody, but I got pretty good street smarts on stuff, and that's what counts.